So I'm going to start off with oh, there it is. Sorry. Now you see a deck of cards. Sometimes it tends to turn invisible and starts flying around like a bird. You can't see it. I'll make it more visible for you. Here it is. Help me.
다 다시 하면 안 돼?
So here I have.
아니야, 이거 찍어야 돼.
For you. All right. So let's start this. Can I have a volunteer? Could you help me? And it's okay, face it. All right, and yeah, it's okay if I see it. Go ahead and sign your name right across, nice and big across the face of the card, and you can put your phone number right below it. I'm just kidding. All right, so a signed card. You see, this ink is permanent, so even if I rub it, it will not come off. Now, you see, a special trait that cards have that normally people don't know about is that when they're signed, they feel special. And when they feel special, they become ambitious. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that. See, if I take the card and I put it somewhere into the middle of the deck, nice and fairly, I'll put it somewhere right into the middle. Watch. And it comes up right to the top. Now, I'll show you one more time because I know you weren't expecting that. So here, we'll push it out. One last time, one last peek. Put it right in there. You know what? I'll get rid of this then. Just so that you can see it and follow it with a smaller amount of cards. Push it right in. Comes right. Wait. What the? Oh, sorry. Sometimes a card can become a little too ambitious. Maybe. There it is. You know what? If I help you, even a normal person can do it. Let's try this. Let's take the card off. One last peek, and we'll lose that card somewhere into the middle of the deck. All right. So, could you help me out? Just snap your fingers over the deck. Just snap your fingers. And snap, raise your hand mysteriously.
한국말로 해줘.
Now, you see, like when I did this for a person before, he asked me, "Well, that's amazing. I can't believe the card can actually come up. But will the card be ambitious enough to come up to the top of the deck if you take it away from the deck?" And I thought, that's an interesting question. So what I did was I took your card and I went to put it right in my pocket, like that. And then I snapped. And obviously, the card is in my pocket, so it will not come up to the top. Now, as I said before, all the other cards are not signed, so they don't feel as special. And because of that, they start to feel jealous. And when they become jealous, they start to impersonate that signed card. Here, watch what I mean. If you just rub the card and heat it up a bit and melt the ink, like that. It's not your card. It's not her card. It's just an imitation. You see, you can kind of see it by the signature. It's not really. It looks a little distorted. I'll do it again for you. I know you want to see that again, so I'll take another card, the 10 of diamonds. Give it a little bit of a rub. Okay, I'll do it one last time for you, just because I know you want to see that one last time again. All right, let's try this. Let's try. 4 of them, 4 hearts. Just. And then it starts to transform. Now, I can do this forever. I can do this again and again. Take this card, transform it, but it gets boring after a while because it gets redundant, right? So why don't we try this? Let's snap. Let's bring all these cards back to normal. Let's take your card out. Right there. All Right, so you see, I have a confession to make. Now, everything you've seen so far, it actually never happened. Like you don't seem to believe. So here, you see the card. It actually never existed in the first place. And really, the card never existed. If you look through the entire deck.
아이, 촌스럽다.
It's not there, it's not the bottom part. So you might be wondering where that card is then. You see, I've been keeping that card in a very special place the whole entire time. In my wallet, there's one card.
No, no way, no way.
Let's take that one out.
와우. 진짜 마술사. 진짜 마법 쓰는 거 아니야?
Now, right. So, well, I personally like paintings, portraits, and because I like portraits and paintings, I wanted to kind of put that concept together with magic. I want to show it to you. I'm going to bring out two of my very special friends, and these are called the awesome cards. Yes, I drew them myself. So basically, this is going to be like a portrait. These two cards are going to be the frame. That middle card, whatever random card that is going to be the picture. All right. So obviously, portrait it doesn't start off painted. So I'm going to have. Can you help me? Just think of. You can stay there. I want you to think of any card. You can think of any card, but before you think of it, think of a card. You see, some people have a tendency to think of one card more than another. Let's say guys tend to think of black cards more often than red cards. So I want you to have a very fair choice. So I'm going to show you a card. You're going to look at a card. It's going to be a random card. And once you do, you have to remember it. So, for example, you're going to look at a card, not the 10 of clubs. Once you do, just remember it. All right? So call stop anytime you want. Once again. Right here.
멈춰.
You want me to do it again? I'll do it again for you. Right here. Take a look at the card. Don't forget the card, right? Because if you do, and the painting is going to be ruined. Now, as I said before, this is the portrait that we want to create, but we're not going to start off like this. We're going to start off like this. Let's try this. All right. So the first awesome card, as I call it, awesome card number 1. It goes into the deck. And by that time, the second one also goes into the deck. So it actually travels down. Let's try this. It's right here. Here's the first one. It's around a few cards down. We'll put that back in. And the second awesome card should be somewhere around here. Here's the second one. So let's see. Here's the first one, here's the second one. So how many cards would you say is around between the two cards? Around like 20, 15? You really don't care about this. It's okay. I'll make it more interesting for you. Here. Don't take your eyes off the deck. If that works, here's the first one, and here's the second one. It looks like to me they got a little closer. You know what? Let's count. Let's count how many cards are between. Here's the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cards between the two awesome cards that I drew myself. I'll do it one more time. This is your last chance to see it happen. Alright? It's very serious business. It actually takes a lot out of me. Now, if that works, these two cards, they come together like that. And if that painting succeeded, what was the card that you're thinking?
whoa. 안 돼.
4 hearts?
버리는 것 같아. 트릭이 아닌 것 같아.
Alright, so the 4 queens. The 2 red queens and 2 black queens. I'm going to use these cards to show you something very interesting. So the queen of clubs, the queen of spades, the queen of diamonds, and the queen of hearts. I'll put these 4 queens right here. I'll put them somewhere right over here. Okay. Now I need to have a card chosen, but this card is going to be something that I call a mystery card. It's a card that neither you nor I will ever see for the time being. Okay, so can you help me? Just call it stop wherever you want, and that's what you have to do, right? Stop right here. So this is a card that is basically going to be left alone. Okay, so you're not going to see it, I'm not going to see it, and I just make sure that I never get to that card. That's your job, right? And let's see. All right, so can you help me? Go ahead and pick out any card you want. Completely free choice. I'm not going to look at the card, but you can show everybody else, and once you do, just sign your name nice and big across the card so you know that there's only one of that card in the whole card. And tell me when you're done.
I'm done.
Got it? So did you show everybody else? And they know what the card is?
섬뜩한데?
You can give the pen back to me. Thank you. Put that right here. And we'll lose that card somewhere into the middle of the deck. I won't look. One last peek. Alright. And we'll lose that card. And I'll even give it a shot.
저거 아니겠어?
Alright, so remember the 4 kings that the 4 queens, sorry, that I left beforehand. We'll use these 4 queens to show you something to actually, you know what? I'll teach you how I do my magic tricks with these 4 queens. Basically, there are 3 methods that magicians use. There's something called misdirection, sleight of hands, and the third one is real magic. I'm going to show you an example of all 3. Let's try this. The first queen, the queen of diamonds, right? We'll take the queen of diamonds, we'll put it right on top of the mystery card. Okay, well, let's take the second queen, the queen of hearts. We'll take the queen of hearts and put it right below the mystery card like that. So the 2 red queens, the 2 black queens. And look up here for a second. That's it, that was misdirection. By that time, I switched the 2 red queens to 2 black queens. I'll show you an example of sleight of hands. Okay, watch. Like that, 2 red queens turn into 2 red aces. Now, to the people who saw it from the side or something, you know something happened, but you don't know exactly what happened, and that's sleight of hands. There are flaws to it. That's why you use misdirection together with it. Now, real magic is something like this. You can be looking at the card, like this, and you won't know it happened. Here, let's try this. Now the 2 black queens turn into 2 black aces. Now, okay, some of you might be thinking, all right, Albert, you probably used some sneaky sleight of hands to switch the 2 black queens for 2 black aces. And fine, that's fair enough. But remember, the mystery card was chosen even before she chose her card, right? So if it wasn't for magic, I really don't know how this could be possible. And I'd like to go ahead and... Just to finish up. Actually, I'll tell you the last method that magicians actually use. I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I'll tell you anyway. The 4th method the magicians use to trick you guys is something called illusions. So I make you see something that it really isn't there actually in the first place. So here, let me try it with this. Let's try this. Sorry, let me do that again.
소연아 어떻게 해? 어떻게 해?
Sorry, give me one more try. It seems like I'm running out of my magic points. I need to refuel. Sorry, hold on a second. Let me refuel my magic points. It's a nice drug. I mean, it's a nice medicine. Yeah. Here, let me try this again. This time, let me get it right.
오! 에이.
And not just the top part. Every. That's not it. See, you see, the part, one of the reasons that that made me able to find the cards so easily was because the cards were actually red. But that's not the only reason. The cards were actually all blank.
말도 안 돼.
You can go ahead and take a look at it. Go ahead. Take a look at the cards.
말도 안 돼.
And amazing. That's it.